Hi, Danielle here. Welcome to Danielle's Corner. Today I'm going to be sharing a story about my doggies. This one's kind of crazy. So my parents sometimes have wildlife in their backyard. I don't know why. We live in a city. There's a freeway right behind their backyard. An interstate like I-40 runs along their backyard. So I don't really understand why they have wildlife in their backyard, but sometimes they do. And every spring, well, last spring and then now this spring, they've had squirrels. And yeah, the dogs love to go out there and chase them. Never really thought that they would really do much. We always check before we let them out to see if the squirrels are there, shoo them off, kind of try to make some noise. The squirrels are not very scared though either. They don't normally take off unless the dogs go out. I'll try and yell and tell them, go away. I always open the door, I'm like, run critters, run, because I don't know. Anyway, this was a few weeks ago and we let the dogs out. I looked outside, Shine and I let the dogs out, and then I was working and she was doing her schoolwork. I don't remember exactly what happened. And then she went to go check on them and she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, they got a squirrel. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I ran out there and we got them inside, and as we were going inside, Cheyenne's like, oh my gosh, there's blood all over. And I'm like, shit, well, we got to check and see if our dogs are bleeding, like what happened. And she's like, oh my gosh, I don't know, what happened with the squirrel. I'm like, I don't know, we need to check our dogs first. So we get inside, figure out Biscuit had nothing on him at all. He was perfectly fine. Gracelyn was bleeding a lot from her lip. Come here, Gracelyn. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Oh no, she's not gonna come over here. But anyway, it was her lip right over here. Let me switch the camera angle. Okay, so it was her lip right here was bleeding. It had a cut on it, and she had a cut right here on her face, and I think over here by her eye. So this is what wouldn't stop bleeding at all. We don't know exactly what happened. Yeah, so we don't know exactly what happened or how she got injured, but it would not stop bleeding. I got paper towel and I had to hold it on there for a long, long time. And let me adjust this a little bit. It wasn't bleeding profusely, it wasn't, but I mean, it was bleeding. The paper towel was getting soaked through, so I'd have to get a new one. Then I'm like, what do we do? Do we take her to emergency? Do we, what happens now? But anyway, we finished, checked Biscuit again just to make sure, checked her some more, finally got the bleeding to stop. That was the place that was bleeding. Finally got that to stop. Slow down. I don't think it really stopped, but it slowed down. So I was able to look up what you can do for that, online. It said a saltwater rinse. So I went ahead and did some salt water and put it on there. I said, okay, that helped. And I went ahead and called the vet because I don't know, I don't know if it was a squirrel bite, a squirrel scratch. I have no idea what happened. We kind of think that she was the distractor and Biscuit was the killer. We don't know though, but the squirrel did die. So yeah, so we don't know exactly what happened. So anyway, I called the vet. They said they would get back to us because it's just the receptionist, and she's like, I'll let the vet know and they'll call you back. And then she didn't get back to us till the next day, but it was fine because she was fine. She was not bleeding or anything. It would ooze a little bit, but she was fine. She wasn't in pain. She was still acting the same. She ate, she drank, everything was perfectly fine. And then that evening, because this must have happened not early morning, but after, maybe between 11 and 1. And then that evening, everything been fine, and she decides, Gracelyn, that she's got an itch, and she starts scratching in that spot. And I'm like, ooh, maybe you shouldn't do that. She starts bleeding all over again. It was it would just happen. So I have to go through the whole thing again. It was horrible. I was afraid she was going to do that in the night. But no, made it through the night. The next day, the vet called. She said that we could use like a mouthwash to put on there. So I bought what they told us, and yeah, I mean, by then it was pretty much done. Like, she was fine and it healed, thank God. She didn't have any kind of infection or anything like that, you know. And that's the other thing, is we do have her up to date on her shots, so we didn't, you know, really have to worry about her getting like rabies or anything, because her shots were up to date. So whew, that was good, because that's always scary. You just don't know. Like, this is a wild animal. I don't know why it's back there. But there was 2. So after, you know, we got the bleeding to stop and kind of cleaned up, kind of calmed down, you know, of course I have to go out back and see, like, is this squirrel dead? Is it, what do I do with this? And yeah, so I went back there, and yeah, poor thing was dead. So had to dispose of that, and that's wasn't fun, because I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm not like a hunting, outdoorsy type. No, I'm completely like, if we're gonna go camping, I'm glamping. I will go to a cabin, you know, that has indoor plumbing. I don't do the bugs. I don't do anything like that. But I had to, because who else is gonna do it? I had to do it. So anyway, did that, and then she was fine. Biscuit was fine. We don't know what happened. When Cheyenne went out there, she just saw, and, you know, she freaked out and ran in and got me. So we don't know. We don't know exactly what happened. But there was another one out there. Well, there was 2 of them. They got that one, and the other one we hadn't seen for a while. And now we've seen it just the other day, but I don't think it's in my parents' backyard anymore. I think it's in the neighbor's yard, but sometimes they'll see it, you know, when we're here. So I don't know. But either way, we still try to look out. We still try to check and make sure. But yeah, I mean, they also love to hunt lizards, but there haven't been too many lizards back there in my parents' yard so far this year. So normally there are, but so far it's just been the squirrels. So I think the other one took off and isn't really in my parents' backyard anymore. But we still want to be vigilant and keep an eye out. So I have 2 little killers here. This one is sleeping peacefully, and then the other one. You wouldn't think they were killers, but they are. So I don't know. So I just wanted to share that crazy story with you all, and I hope you all are having an amazingly blessed day and an amazingly blessed week, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.